Hi, everybody. It's time for this week's Astro Oracle reading. But before we get going on the reading, I want to tell you about something special. It is happening October the 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself and psychic medium John Holland, who is one of the best mediums I have ever seen in my life, the two of us are doing a virtual live event of messages, guidance, and inspiration. It's going to be awesome. Now, tickets are limited because we're doing live readings, etc., so we can't have millions of people come. So if you're interested in coming to this, we're going to be doing it for about 2 hours. You gotta come. Tickets are available. There's got to be a link somewhere here. Click on it, buy your ticket, and I'll see you there. Okay. Now, we're going to start with Aries. Aries. I'm so happy that you liked Wisdom of Avalon last week. I'm using it again. Oh, this is good. So an Aries is good like this. Aries is the stag and the cat and the frog. And this deck is only read upright, by the way. So here's what's interesting. These are the animal guides of Avalon. So if we were to look at these three cards for the Aries personality and the prescription for you, it is about pride of leadership. It's about taking the first step. Not a problem for Aries, right? The Aries personality knows how to do that. The cat is about independence and healthy boundaries. So as you step forward, as the leader, you make sure your boundaries are clean. Also cleaning house, cleaning up, cleaning the things that you need to clean up. The frog is all about that. So it's about clearing the clutter in your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and environment. Very good advice for the Aries personality this week. Let's see now. I forgot how much I love these older decks. All right, here we go. Okay, now this is for Taurus. Taurus has the Deer, Joy, and the Queen. Well, you're having a nice time this week, Taurus. So the Deer is all about diplomacy, gentleness, how you move in the world is not like clump, clump, clump. It's more gentle. And that's what's called for you this week. So if Taurus personality, don't go in like a bull in a china shop, right? So this is really about being more gentle with yourself, with others. But there's a lot of joy happening here for you. And it's to foster joy, right? So the sense of well-being is on high for you this week, Taurus. And also the Queen represents friendships and fertility and other women or women in general or friends, or maybe we will take the gender out of it. I don't know these days how we do this properly, but bottom line is it's about friendships. How about that? And the divine feminine within all people, regardless of their gender. That's a really good way of saying it, I think. So it's about fostering your friendships and being joyful with others. That's a good one. Okay, now we are going to be looking at Gemini. Oh, I love the feel of this. Okay, so Gemini, we are looking at, oh, that's a good week for Gemini too. So although it's difficult, we were talking about how there's some challenges this week. We did the spirit animal reading yesterday for the whole week ahead, the energies of the week. But so far so good. There's some really good ways in which we can work with the energy. For you, Gemini, it's going to feel very creative. You have reasons to be optimistic. Communication is on high for you. There's a real sense that regardless, how that first card yesterday was Canary Spirit and Protection, which was really about not being able to sing your own song. And you're not having any problem at all. So singing your song. And that's really good because it's about turning that around and getting authentic in terms of your expression with the world. The Wealth card is all about how you are grounded in material reality, but also the exchange of your service and gifts. Also, anything to do with writing, communication, being in touch with other people is on high this week. So that's good. This is so far so good. Let's look at Cancer. Okay, Cancer, partnership, burden, loyalties. So this is really good. So the burden card reminds us that we have responsibilities, okay? And in this case, for Cancers, you have a responsibility to whatever partnerships that you have. And it's asking you to be responsible to those partnerships. The dog is all about loyalty. So it really is about looking at who is loyal, who are you loyal to? Do they deserve your loyalty is one thing. Are they too much of a burden? Did you take on a codependent responsibility for others? Or Are you just responsible? Like, take a look at who you have made commitments to and honor those commitments this week, and you're going to do just fine. Okay. And make sure you're not overdoing it. Now, this is for Leo. So Leo is taking a risk. Nice. Oh, this is beautiful. So although, we saw that there was some difficult energies this week for the Leo, this is a time for you to take a risk. Do things a little differently. The swan represents the transformation, trusting your intuition, bringing yourself into alignment with the opportunities that you are creating yourself in partnership with spirit, right? So the opportunities come from the inside out, not the outside in. And it's transformative rather than transactional. So there, the Grail Knight is the best in people. It's the best in you. It's the best in others. So trust that there could be the best of, even though there's lots of noise and things are speeding up and it feels kind of like, oh my God. This is saying, hey, you got to trust that even if you see things that look super difficult, you can find the best in that. What is that? What could that be? What are you making it mean? That's the good question for Leos. And next, we are going to be looking at, okay, so Virgo. Here we go. Virgo, the butterfly is, in this deck, represents beauty. It's funny because the other deck, it is similar, but it's about transformation, the process of metamorphosis. But in this deck, it represents the beauty of the butterfly, like who you have become. It's more about, who have I become? How far have I come? Needing to measure that for the Virgo. I have come this far, and really honoring where you're at, finding the beauty of where you are. Now, the horse represents delegating authority. So for you, it's about being organized, accepting help from other people, and delegating authority where you need to. And that helps you feel like that Virgos like to be organized, right? Every Virgo I know has got organization totally. The High Priestess is about prescience. It's about discernment. It's about knowing which choices are in the highest good for yourself and others. So this is, again, even though we have these difficult energies, again, the Virgo knows how to work with that this week, as long as you stick to those kind of focuses. Now let's talk about Libra. Now remember, you're going to be looking at your sun sign, your rising sign or ascendant, and your moon. So you'll have 9 cards should you choose to do that, or you can just look at your sun sign. It's up to you. So we have Libra telling the truth. Oh, this is very interesting. So anger, retaliation, jealousy, and burden. This isn't even about you. This is interesting. So for Libras, you don't have any control over what people say about you. And if people project on you, etc., the truth is it's not your burden. So be cautious not to take on the responsibility of others to do their own work. They may not like it if you walk away and if you say no. So this is something that Libras need to take a look at this week is, where do I give my power away to other people who are actually not even my friends? Or where do I give my power away to others in order to control how they might behave if you do X, Y, or Z? And that's very typical of the Libra personality in its shadow. So truth is the number one. This is the truth. You guys handle it. Not my circus, not my monkeys. That's for Libras. Okay. Nothing wrong with having healthy anger, by the way. But this is when it's projected at you, you can't smooth things over this week. And also, if other people are in it, don't get in the middle of it either. That's the other thing for Libras. Okay, so now let's take a look at Scorpio. Here we go, Scorpio. Let's see. So Scorpio should not be too concerned about lack mentality, or the idea that, that abundance somehow you don't deserve it, or there's a sense of you're not getting what you need. And the big question here is the wounded ego here is what's requiring. You might be self-deceiving. So in denial of your part in projecting onto others, okay? So that you might think that somebody didn't give you something that you wanted, and then you might look at it that somehow it reflects that you're not good enough or that there's something wrong with you. And the case has nothing to do with that. Or you might be dealing with that you wanted a job and you didn't get it, and so you're really mad. But the truth is, it's pushed all your buttons, all those buttons that you have, the deeper stuff, which is important this week for you to love yourself through and remember that God is the source of your supply. Other people are not. That your self-worth is not determined by anything outside of yourself. It's in here. Inside job, okay? Let's take a look at Sagittarius. Here we go, Sagittarius. So Sag is, this is very interesting. So you have restriction. You have restriction here, Sag. But your perception of the restriction is actually leading you into something more beautiful. I think we said something about that last week, actually, when we used the same deck, when we talked about the restriction that is something we've all been through already. So for you, Sag, this week might be slower for you. And if you do bump into any obstacles, it's how you perceive it. You might get a really well-deserved break that you weren't planning for, but in fact, it's the best thing for you. So just allow yourself some freedom this week to, if there are restrictions, which likely there will be, take advantage of it and see the beauty in it and find what you can do to enhance that sense of love, compassion, beauty, hope, joy, etc., in spite of what appears outside of yourself. Okay. Now let's look at, I think we have Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. So, Capricorn, here we go. Movement for you, the swan for you. This is nice. And so this is great. So, and I know that the Capricorn reading last week was, really taking a look at denial and your hidden agendas and things like that. And actually, to be honest, this week is so much easier for you because it seems that you might have done that work last week and overturned a few things about how you think, feel, and believe. And in fact, now you're moving to better ground through this transformative process, and you're getting to the truth, and always the truth sets you free. But it's really about your authentic truth and getting out of denial about how you have perceived things. That's cool. Love that. All right, now let's look at Aquarius. I always want to sing that song. I don't know why. As soon as I say the word, I want to burst into song. So Aquarius, all righty. So Aquarius, now this is interesting because it's about death and transformation around authority and being gentle with yourself as you reconsider what personal sovereignty means and how you relate to the powers that be, whether that be rules, regulations, laws, the dictates of the outer conditions of the world in which you don't have any choice over. The death card is actually really positive here because you use it in relationship to having to let an idea go and to be gentle with yourself as you do it. So justice, which is more the internalized sense of justice within yourself, it's like finding those parts that need to somehow come together for the Aquarius personality so that you feel more of that equilibrium instead of, kind of shadow boxing with something that you can't change. So it's got to be the way you change inside to then discover how you can meet the outer seeming restrictions because it's like power over when actually it's like shadow puppets. Right? Like they're not really there. They look bigger than what they really are. So that's again about working on your perception. Oh, wow. This is such an interesting week. Now let's take a look at Pisces. Pisces is taking a risk this week. Pisces is taking a risk and getting creative. And certainly Pisces had a couple good weeks here. So we're looking at taking risks for you this week, Pisces. And the risk is really about creativity. How can I do things differently? How could I find a solution to something? How could I study something? Being creative doesn't mean that you have to paint or write or do music or whatever. It's really more about doing something different, like changing things up a little bit. And that frees you up to feel like you have more more of an expansive series of possibilities for yourself. But if you are artistic, this is a great time to focus on that. The Merlin is all about balance and alchemy and all these things that come together to support you. So it may be that once you take the risk and face your fears of jumping into something, that you're going to all of a sudden everything starts to support you. And that's going to be really important. Sometimes taking the risk is being honest about who you really are. And this is saying that this is going to be a good thing. Sing your own song, right? That's what the canary spirit was telling all of us this week. Okay, so I want to remind everybody, October the 21st, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and psychic medium John Holland are having an event. It's a 2-hour event of messages, guidance, and inspiration. And I'm telling you, he's the best medium I've ever seen. So the tickets are limited. We can't have millions of people showing up at this event. So they're going to be, they'll be cut off. We will sell out. We always have in the past. So they are available. Get your ticket today. I've done tons of events with John over the years in person and live. And this is our first virtual event together. So it's going to be awesome. So I'll see you there, hopefully. Okay? All right. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, like the video, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment. I love to read them. And I'll see you next time. Take care.